Hello, we are here with my 10-year-old Betsy today to talk about hair. There is much I don't know, there is much I have to learn.
Yeah.
So last night you came upstairs and you had some tangles.
Yeah, it was a big knot in the back of my head.
And I offered to take them out. And you declined. Now, why did you decline my assistance?
Because you don't have long hair, so you don't really know how to brush.
I do. You take the brush and you use brute force and you overcome the tangles. You power through them as hard as you can. 100%
that's
effective.
Gonna hurt. That's
But does it work?
sort of.
Sort of. You heard it here from her own lips. Sort of.
It sometimes makes more tangles. It sometimes gets some of them out, but then there's still a big knot.
And sometimes it tears out hair so it can never tangle again. A permanent solution to a temporary problem.
No hair grows back.
A temporary solution to a temporary problem.
Yeah.
Honestly, for my parenting record, that's actually pretty good. So you decided, unlike your sisters, to handle the brushing yourself. And how did that go?
It goes well. I mean,
Specifically last night, did you get all the tangles out?
Mommy had to help me a tiny bit.
But not me. Just mommy.
Yeah.
Is she better at brushing than I am?
Yeah, because she also has, like, really thick hair like me.
I'm getting teamed up on here. I think they're biased. So, for the record, I am faster at brushing hair than everybody else in this house.
You don't brush it all.
I do brush it all. I get in there deep.
You have to brush under, on top. You have to brush the sides.
Okay, so if you push down hard enough, it goes through all the layers at once.
My hair is super thick. It has more than one layer.
Yeah, but the bristles on that brush are like this long. Your hair isn't that thick. Your hair's like this thick, the layers. So you just go...
The bristles aren't that long.
Huh?
The bristles are about this long.
Yeah, but your hair's not this thick, like depth-wise. You don't have that much hair.
Yeah, but it's still harder. And also the brushes that we use aren't really the best. The bristles, like, bend.
Those were like specialty detangler brushes that people told me about on Twitter. Would Twitter lie to me?
I mean, sometimes.
Yes, Twitter would absolutely lie to me. But also they might have accidentally told me the truth. Like, is there a better brush out there? I don't know. You can do your own research and find out.
Probably.
I think we have the best possible brush and the
Mommy
best possible brusher.
Mommy has a better brush.
Does she let you use it?
No.
Well, there you go. It must be better if she put it off limits. Kind of like scissors. You know the scissors are better if she doesn't let anybody use them.
Well, I mean, whenever I was making gifts for my sisters, she let me use them.
Did she?
Yeah.
Were they better?
Yeah. But I mean, I was cutting fabric, so.
She hoards the good stuff to herself because the rest of us ruin it.
Yeah.
It happens.
We're kids.
Well, 4 of us are kids. 1 of us is me, but that's okay.
But you don't need as much hair product.
You know what? I don't know. If I wanted to brush my hair with her brush, would she let me? It depends. Is she in the room at the time? If she's not, she probably won't stop me because she's not there.
Yeah.
Then she'll find my hair in the brush, and I will get in trouble.
Yeah.
She's like a detective or something. It's unfortunate. Always marry somebody who's not very observant. That's the key to a happy marriage. But currently, like, I brush my hair and it doesn't look very good, and then I just have to go through it a bunch of times like this, and that's how I get it to look not good, but less bad. That's kind of the standard I go for these days. But you today,
You used to never brush your hair.
I used to keep it short, and I looked terrible. And now I keep it longer, and also look terrible. But it's a different kind of terrible.
Most of my friends who have short hair don't brush it.
Yeah, I had short hair, I had a beard, I had about 30 extra pounds on me. It was a different version of me. Never exercised, ate garbage. Honestly, I was living my best life. I don't know what I'm doing now. Eating healthy, taking care of my physical appearance.
Well, I mean, you learned how to tailor clothes.
I learned how to tailor clothes. That's a whole nother video. Whole bunch of other stuff we haven't disclosed. If you, turns out if you lose a bunch of weight and build a bunch of muscle, clothes don't necessarily fit you right. And I could either I could either get in shape and never look like I was in shape because the clothes are baggy, or I could get in shape and pay somebody to fix them, or I could learn to do it myself. And as always, the cheapest option is the best. So I am now a whiz with the sewing machine.
Well, I mean, what if you really didn't know how to do it and then it turned out horrible? Was that the best option?
Well, I really didn't know how to do it, but I watched a couple YouTube videos, and then I had to have Mommy explain to me in great detail how to use the sewing machine, and it turned out the sewing machine we had for our entire marriage did not work. We got it secondhand, like as a wedding gift or something, and it turned out we've had a broken sewing machine all this time, and we just never tried to use it. So then I got a new sewing machine, and then I figured out how to use that. And I gave myself a scar. I don't even know how. I was like putting needles in. I don't know if you'll be able to see that up there. Yeah, it was a pretty nasty cut. And at just some point, I came away. My finger kind of hurt, but like when you're kind of clumsy like me, you just kind of go through life. Pain happens, and you ignore it. And I looked down. I had this gash on my finger, and I'm still not entirely sure how I did it. But
one time I was just walking around and I found a random cut in my toe.
Yeah, that's probably from our splintery wood floor. Like, I can solve that mystery for you right now.
No, it was literally an entire cut.
Did you lose the toe?
No.
Well, I'm glad to know you still have 10 toes.
Yeah.
I feel like as a parent, if you were down to 9 toes, I should be apprised of that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to tell me if you lose any toes.
Yeah.
I keep track. I have a chart.
Well, I don't think you can exactly lose a toe without your parents knowing, because it would be a lot of pain, or your parents would have to take you to the hospital.
What if you walk there yourself because you're just that tough? You walk and they call you Betsy Nine Toes.
We live we live far away from the hospital.
It is a 2-mile walk. You could
2
walk,
miles!
You could walk there on 9 toes.
Yeah, but it would...
So we are way off the topic of hair, but I do have a story. My brother, Harry, he's a couple years younger than me, and years ago he went through this phase where he was going to run barefoot, and he doesn't do anything halfway.
That's a really dumb decision.
All decisions he makes are dumb. This is the brother, by the way, who I gave the bear to. He did accept the bear. That was a good decision. But so he decided he was going to run barefoot, but he would not just run barefoot like when the weather was good, like a normal person, or just run on the grass barefoot. He was going to run barefoot on all surfaces in all weather conditions. So it's the middle of winter. He goes out and runs 4 or 5 miles barefoot, comes back, all the skin on the bottoms of his feet freezes off. He cannot walk. My mom is terrified that he's going to lose his toes. And mind you, he's like in his early 20s right now. He was just out of college, but he was still living at home. And so he was definitely old enough to know better. Refused to go to the hospital, refused to miss work. So he goes, and I don't know how he got in his car, but he somehow managed to drive to work, then had to crawl on his hands and knees into the office, crawls on his hands and knees across the office, and pulls himself up into his chair as his coworkers stare at him. Never explains himself to anybody and just gets to work. Well, if he can do that, you can probably make it to the hospital on 9 toes. Man. Okay, he is never and will never be a grown man. That is a man-child. That is very different. But you have much less weight to carry too. You could definitely make it there on 9 toes. You've got
but it's still 2 miles.
You've got the same stubborn streak as him. You've got his stinky feet too. The stinky feet gene apparently it came from my parents and is recessive. I didn't get it, but she's got stinky feet. Be glad that
and very sweaty hands.
And sweaty hands. I wonder if they're the same gland. What you also have though is tangly hair, which I think is what we were supposed to be talking about in the first place. And anyway, what prompted this all is now she's got a bun, which somehow is supposed to stop the tangles, but to me looks like one giant tangle. So explain that to me.
It's not.
Okay, that's a convincing argument. Why would it not get tangled if you ball it up?
Because that's how it's going to stay for the entire day. And whenever I have my hair down, the wind blows it around, and I run around, and then it all gets in big knots.
But if I take headphone cords and I ball them up, they're going to get tangled. And you took all of your hair and balled it up, so it should be super duper uber tangled.
What was that word that you used? That was weird.
Super duper uber tangled? Uber? Uber means like the most, and it also is a service you use to get home when you've had too much to drink. So 2 meanings there. So the point is, I just use science to conclusively prove that when you put your hair in a bun, it gets more tangled, not less tangled.
No.
Did you not hear the thing about the cords?
Yeah, but I mean...
You can't just disregard science because you don't like it.
My hair, that's not...
See? She's speechless. Speechless! Once again, I am the premier hair expert in this house.
It's like whenever you put a braid in your hair.
Well, I do put braids in my hair a lot, so I know a lot about that topic as well. But that's like carefully organizing a cord.
Yeah, but Mommy literally had to put it in a ponytail, then spin it around itself, and then tie it up.
Okay, so I didn't realize there were underlying structural steps. So I will modify my position and say it's not super duper uber tangled. It's only a little tangled. And I think that's the compromise we can live with.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for this riveting discussion about hair and losing toes and my
random
brother's feet.
stuff.
Yes, they will all be about random stuff. Catch you next time.